Okay. I guess towards the end of grade school, probably when I was in high school even already, Janet and I started playing quite a bit of tennis. And my mom had liked tennis, I knew that, and she had suggested we hit back and forth out in the street, and that's what we started doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was with no instruction of how to hold the racket or
Oh.
how to serve or anything like that. We just
Wow.
kind of learned on our own. And so we played at Grant Park, which is next to Grant High School.
Mm-hmm.
We had to walk about 15 blocks to get there to play, but we did that quite a lot.
Hmm.
And I know
You got better, I guess,
one
huh?
time we played with a couple of guys that were there, and then this guy wanted to play tennis with me. And so I think my mom said, it'd be best if you don't win.
Ah!
Anyway, I just thought, oh, I shouldn't win, I shouldn't beat him. So I would hit the ball extra hard, hoping it would go out. And instead it would hit way in the back line, and he wasn't getting it, and so I won. He never asked me to play again.
Oh
with
my
him.
gosh, she was right.
See?
It's so funny you were trying to hit it out. That's great.
And Janet and I would go to this place, an amusement park, Jansen Beach, and we went with friends some of the time and everything too. But they had a lot of rides there, and I remember I got really sick one time because I went on one of those real jerky ones, and then I went on this real gentle one where the swings go around
Oh,
and
yeah.
they get a little higher. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
on.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And I got sick to my stomach. I vomited.
Now, what made you
Yeah.
think of that memory?
I don't know. Oh, I know, because we went to Jansen Beach. That was Jansen Beach, the name of the park. But then we went to this place in Lake Oswego that was a swimming place. And Janet and I challenged each other to go off the real high diving board.
Mm-hmm.
And I went off twice, and I think she did too. But the next day, I couldn't even straighten my body up. I was all just hanging over. And I didn't have any permanent damage or anything, but I was kind of stiff for 2
Wow.
or 3 days. Because I had gone down straight, and I kind of, you know how you would turn under more and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
that way.
Yeah. And you did it more than once, too.
Yeah, just twice, yeah.
Yeah. Adolescent years, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
Fond
that's
memories
all
for adolescence?
years. That's
Okay.
all adolescence.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up a particular family outing that you would take every year.
Well, our camping trips were fabulous.
So what was
And
fond about the adolescent years with camping?
Janet, my dad bought one of those small inflatable yellow rubber boats,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just enough for 2 people, and Janet and I went out in that. We felt so grown up when we were able to explore the whole lake and be off on our own and go all the way to the other end of the lake.
That's really neat.
And then one time it might have been when we had the boat with us. I think it must have been. But we went to this little sandy beach that we remembered was there, that we'd always see when we went on this other hike. We always went on one particular hike every year to another small lake. And we saw all these little tiny frogs there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we stopped at that sandy beach one time. We took our clothes off and swam in the nude.
Ooh.
Because we were so secluded from anyone else or we had the lake to ourselves.
Wow.
It was only on weekends we had other people coming in pretty much because it was a very difficult road to travel on. And the newer cars were lower slung and they hardly could do it.
Oh.
But Dad kept this old car for a long time and it was higher up.
Oh, that's
and
pretty
then
cool.
well, we had some wonderful memories there because we were there when the war ended.
Oh, yeah.
And this group of girls came in from a camp.
Tell us which war it was.
The World War II.
Okay, well, this is for,
I wasn't alive in World War I.
There's all kinds of people watching
this
this.
was the
so.
war, the
Okay.
big war.
The big war, okay.
Anyway, the group of girls came in and they set up camp at one side, and then this truck of girls came in. The first group came in on horseback, and then this truck came in with the rest of them, and they called across from one area to the other, "The war's over." And we heard them say that. We got so excited, and we all ran
Wow.
over to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a radio in the car or any way to know what news was going on. And then it was.
When you say we all ran over, you mean your mom and dad as well?
Mom and
Okay.
Dad too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we all wanted to hear the news.
Yeah.
But it was a year or two before that when some soldiers came into Big Lake when we were there. And they were so nice to Janet and me, and they gave us K rations.
Aw,
You know, just to have and that's the first time I had a K ration can opener.
that's neat.
And that K ration can opener saved the day when we went to play tennis a couple different times when the key was missing or something got
Because that's how you
stuck,
open a
that
can
you
of
open the
tennis?
can with.
That's how you open a can of tennis
And the K
balls?
ration would open the can.
Wow.
And it also helped when we had to open cans of beer one time when we were on one of our teenage excursions to the beach. And we had to open cans of beer.
Mm-hmm.
And that K ration
Wow.
can opener did it when
You always had
nobody
it
else
with
could
you.
get it open. They didn't remember to bring a can opener. Oh, and you know what? It opened a can of coffee one time
Wow.
when that was after I was married. And, you know, it came in handy.
Do you still have it?
I still have it.
All right.
I might even have a couple of extras.
I bet you do.
But I don't still have it in my purse. I did have it in my purse for a long, long time.
That's cool. Okay, shifting gears a little bit, unless you wanted to go on. Oh, actually, we don't need to shift gears yet, because you didn't tell me any fondest memories of college.
One thing I wanted to tell you,
Yes.
though, that was kind of funny when we would take this hike to this little lake.
Yeah?
It was a regular one. We always did that. And Dad got to know the sheep herder there.
Huh.
An old man with a beard and kind of longish hair. And he cut that man's hair for him a couple different times. It was really
That sounds like
Quite-
something you'd see in a movie or
quite
something.
interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, college. Fond college memories.
Oh boy, lots of different interesting dates through the years, but nothing that I stuck with any length of time. And just the wonderful life in the sorority house. I played the piano a lot in there,
Uh-huh.
but then the house mother decided I was playing too loud sometimes, and that kind of put a crimp in my style. And then this one friend and I decided to take tap dancing lessons downtown.
That's cool.
And when we were taking from this teacher, she said, well, a lot of her students were the basketball players because taking tap dancing had made them much quicker
Huh.
and lighter on their feet.
Huh.
I thought that was kind of interesting. So
Weren't you
anyway,
in-
the two
oh.
of us performed a little ditty for the sorority sisters.
Oh. Weren't you in some kind of like an outing club or something? And
Oh, and I did mountain climbing. Yes.
tell us about that.
Yeah. I joined the mountain climbing club when I was a freshman. I was still in the dorm. And that spring, we climbed Mount Hood. And we had to leave, oh gosh, it was probably a 3-hour drive to Mount Hood, I would think. I don't remember how long, but I'm sure it was at least that. And we went to sleep maybe 9 o'clock at night, and we got up at 2 in the morning and started our climb.
Wow.
And it was a snow climb.
Wow.
And the thing I remember most about the climb itself was you would spot this little nudge isn't the right word, but little protrusion or something, you know?
Uh-huh.
And you'd think, oh, I'll be there in about 10 minutes, and then another 45 minutes would go by when you
Wow.
finally got there. Because each step you took, you not slipped, but you went down in the snow some. So each step amounted to about a half a step. It just
Wow.
took a lot longer than you would think. And I got to the top about noon, and then we got down in about 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. it was
So from
really-
2 in the morning until noon, you climbed up, and then it was 2 hours back
Yeah.
down. And I'm guessing that the
Well,
hiking
we probably
boots.
didn't start at 2, but we got up at 2.
Okay. I'm guessing that the hiking boots weren't real great back then.
Well, I don't even know if I had hiking boots. I can't remember that I did.
Huh. That's amazing.
I don't think I did.
That's really
So
amazing.
maybe I wore a good pair of sneakers. No, I don't know.
Were there other women too, or was it mostly guys?
Yeah, it wasn't a huge group. It was probably about 15 of us or something.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then we had another opportunity to climb a rock climb. And so I had the experience of practicing and learning how to do rappelling in a rock quarry right near Oregon State. And then we went and we climbed Mount Washington, which is the beautiful mountain that we always have over Big Lake, where we always went camping.
That had to be really cool, since that was the mountain you saw every summer.
That was extremely cool.
Wow.
And I got to know this really nice guy that was in the fraternity across the street, because he was on that. And he was going to come over pretty soon after that when we had some kind of a dance at our at a sorority house where they had to pay a nickel or a quarter or something for each dance.
Mm-hmm.
So he was planning to come over, and I thought, oh, good, and he'll probably dance with me. Well, I had a good friend from Portland visiting me that weekend, and he asked her to dance.
Oh!
And then he kept dancing with her.
That's unbelievable. He probably didn't even pay a nickel for her dances.
I don't know. It was very annoying.
Well, that probably hurt your feelings, too.
Well, yeah, sort of did.
Okay. We are going to go back a little bit to your childhood again. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right. Unless you don't want to. Can you remember any stories you heard about your grandparents when they were children? Any stories that kind of stuck out?
No, not really.
That's all right. Do you feel as if you knew much about their lives?
I just knew that my mother's dad had come over as a young man from England.
Oh.
And in fact, it's because of him being from England that he didn't think it was necessary for girls to go to college.
Oh.
So that's why his two daughters didn't get to. He didn't finance them going on.
Wow.
And my Uncle Ted had a full scholarship offered to him, and then didn't take it.
Why?
I don't know whether he decided to get married then or what. I don't remember the whole story, but he never took the opportunity.
Now, was this the grandfather that was an editor?
Yeah, that's my mother's dad.
Okay.
Yeah. He did editorials.
Editorials.
Wrote editorials for the Portland Oregonian.
Okay.
It's the name of the paper. And they liked his editorials so much that they put together a book after he had been there for more than 20 years. And he didn't have college education either, I don't think, but he was always a fabulous writer.
Wow.
And he wrote, his editorials were so highly thought of, and it gave you a history, a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
of what was going on during those years. And it was made into a book called 20 Eventful Years
We have it.
by
now.
Lawrence K.A.Y.E. Hodges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the amazing thing, to be able to contact Amazon and discover that book
And who did
was
that for you?
available.
Who did that for you?
You did, but you know what? Aunt Janet checked it out a year or two later, and she was able to get enough books
Wow, that's
for
good.
each of her kids too.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about the naughtiest thing you ever did.
Well, the one I got in trouble with anyway was.
Oh, you got a whole bag of them to choose from.
Well,
huh?
no, I don't know. This was probably the dumbest, naughtiest. We had a nice countertop in our one bathroom. We just had one bathroom in the house.
Oh, okay.
And it was painted. And this girlfriend whose mother is a very good friend of my mom's, she was over, and the two of us used pens and wrote in the paint. Drew pictures and wrote and messed it all up.
So this is the countertop. It was paint like a wooden countertop.
It was a wooden countertop.
And so you
it was
scraped.
painted.
You
So
scraped
we
in.
scraped
Scraped in.
the paint,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And
How old were you?
And I think when they got that fixed, they managed to put glass over the top.
But how old were you?
I was probably 11 or 12 or
That's
something.
pretty old to
Maybe
know
I was-
better.
You know what? I was maybe 9 or 10. I don't
But that's
know.
still pretty old to know better, don't you think? No?
You would think so.
You would think. So how did you get in trouble? What did they do?
Oh, I don't remember what punishment we had, but they were very upset.
Okay.
I don't remember. The last time my mother tried to spank me, I was probably 13. And I was just about as tall as I ever got. I
Uh-huh.
was 5'8" at least. And she draped me over her lap.
I wish I could have seen that.
She was just using her hand. And I was hanging onto the floor on both ends, you know. Hung down on both ends. And I started laughing, and then she started laughing.
Do you remember what it was for?
No, I don't remember at all what it was for.
That's really funny.
Well, my dad would spank us with a spanking paddle, but or he'd threaten with it maybe,
Mhm.
which is that's how I got the idea of a spanking
Yeah,
paddle.
yeah. We'll talk about that later. Did you and Janet fight? What did you argue and fight about?
Nothing much except that we fought enough. When I was always washing the dishes and she was drying the dishes.
Okay.
And we fought enough that my mom had to have me wash the dishes with her out of the room.
Oh.
And then she'd come in the room to dry them after I was out of the room.
Wow.
But the way I would tease my Janet, my
My
sister,
Janet.
would be to kick her into a corner. Not without really kicking, but
Yeah.
just kicking out. And she kept backing up and I'd get her kicked into a corner. And I did that time and again with her, and I don't even
She
know
never
what-
like figured a way out of that, huh?
No.
That's funny. What was your favorite meal as a child?
I remember the Spanish rice for some reason. I don't
It
know
sounded
if
like
I
that's
ever-
all she made.
I don't know if I ever even made it myself. I have no idea.
You did, because I
But I
remember.
really, this sounds really weird, but she made tongue, beef tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe because I never looked at the whole tongue and went, ooh, I loved it.
Wow.
And I loved tongue sandwiches.
Tongue sandwiches.
And the one time I made tongue for you kids, I made the mistake of letting you see the whole tongue, because then you didn't even want to try it.
I do remember that day.
And my mother also made kidney and beef cubes, in a brown gravy kind of thing over rice or something.
Okay.
And that was very good. I like kidneys too, and she also made liver, but I don't think she made liver all that often, but I liked it okay.
Huh. So
We
you
ate
liked it
everything.
okay, but
Neither-
but
well,
what
no,
was
I
your
mean,
favorite? Your favorite meal? You didn't really have any, huh?
There weren't any that just stood out that
Okay.
I thought was just phenomenal.
Okay.
She didn't try that many different recipes, I don't think. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, we had tuna noodle casserole for Friday night dinner a lot. And of course, in those days, every Friday night
Wow.
was fish.
That's right.
And my dad didn't like tuna noodle casserole, so he would have a can of oh, now I can't even think of the name of it. Gee.
Herring, salmon.
No, fish eggs.
Oh.
Shad roe.
Oh.
ROE, that's in fish eggs.
Okay.
And it was shad.
Huh.
The shad eggs.
Wow.
And so since he thought that was such a delicacy, I always wanted to have a taste.
Okay.
And I always did take a taste, but I
Never liked
thought
it.
I would develop liking
Oh.
it, but I didn't like it
Okay.
ever.
You wanted to be like your daddy.
Yeah.
What was an exciting experience or adventure you remembered in your life? It can be, any time period.
One exciting adventure. Well, those 2 mountain climbs were certainly,
Mm-hmm.
and well, every time when we went camping, we always had adventures of one kind or another,
That's neat.
So that was always exciting. And we always sang in the car, Janet and I, and Mom would chime in when she knew the words.
That's neat.
My dad knew the words to Let Me Call You Sweetheart, and then I don't think he ever learned the words, but he liked the song Oh Buttermilk Sky so much that he bought me the sheet music.
Aw.
And so he probably did try to sing that with me.
Aw.
Oh. But we sang all the way.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
What was a favorite hobby you had? Or what did you do in your free time?
Wasn't